Hi, I'm Jane Esselstyn.
I'm Ann Esselstyn.
And I'm Brian Hart.
Brian and I are married, if you don't know, and Brian is the god of lasagna. That's what my brother Rip calls him, because Brian's lasagnas are award-winning, not just in our family, but wherever he takes them, brings them, offers them, they vanish.
This is my most incredible opportunity to watch Brian make it up close. I mean, I've never had that chance, so I am so excited.
And if you're following along, the ingredients we're using are in Plant Strong, and the recipe is on page 199. I say it like this because what we did is when I wrote this book, well, I didn't write this book. My brother Rip wrote this book. I did the recipe section. And when I was making these recipes, I followed everything, I wrote it all down, and Brian assembles it differently than I've written it here in the book. So true revelations, or true, what's it called, behind the scenes, or what's it called?
Yeah, we're revealing our secrets.
Big reveal of secrets. He makes it in such a better way than here, but the ingredients are the same. So let's begin. The first thing that we have in this Raise the Barn butternut squash vegetable lasagna on page 199 is a butternut squash. And it takes a long time to do this. So this is our butternut squash, but what we did to it is we started with a whole butternut squash and we cut it in half, as you maybe will see Brian doing. We have some video of him doing that. And then we put it on a tray with the cut sides down and baked it at 350 for about 45 minutes. Is that how long we did it?
Yep, about 45.
And then when you take it out, what do you do with the...
You just got to peel the skins off. It's a little bit of a pain, but just peel the skins off with your hand and then mash it together.
I hate to say it, but you could also buy it already cut up, I suppose.
Yep, you can buy it cut up.
You can buy it cubed even and then sort of steam it and it's already mushy. So you've got this mush is a really important part. And we have things, as they say, mise en place, ready to go. So this was one of the things ready to go. Brian cut here, what he has here ready to go is a combination, I'm going to list them all, is the one onion, some garlic, zucchini, yellow squash, 8 ounces of mushrooms, a red pepper, and 2 stalks of bok choy with some frozen spinach as well. So that's what is here, and this are all just cooked together, no oil in the pan, and it's just all exhausted and heated up and ready to go. Do you want to add your spices to that now, to the veggies?
Actually, I'm gonna spice the ricotta.
Okay. Speaking of ricotta, that's the next step. Do you want to take us through?
Sure. So the next step is actually the magic step, which really gives the flavor to the lasagna, which is to make this tofu ricotta. So you just need a block of, is this extra firm?
Firm.
Just firm tofu. I'm going to break it up and put it into a
high-speed blender or
high-speed
Cuisinart.
food processor.
That's the word.
Then it's half a cup of walnuts, and then spices. So oregano and basil.
Thyme. Actually, I'm trying to follow I'm trying to follow the recipe as much as possible since I didn't follow.
I thought this was basil.
No, here's basil. You said fresh basil.
Okay.
And then thyme. I think you have thyme. So we're going to do 1 tablespoon of oregano, and then some and then there's thyme. Here's thyme. Wait, you have thyme. Here. Thyme for thyme.
Just a little bit. Not too much.
It's about a teaspoon.
All right, so now we're just gonna pulse it until we get the right consistency of ricotta. Really straightforward. You want to grind up all the walnuts.
Brian, can you grind it too long or not?
It's pretty hard to. You'd really have to grind it for a while, but you can see the consistency now is just like ricotta. You can see from the camera shot.
Okay, up. Top shot. There you go. Look at it. Here, let's crumble it a little bit. So it looks just like
ricotta cheese.
Yeah.
Now, what happens to this? Well, it just goes right in with the vegetables. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mash it up and blend it up together.
Ooh, do you want do you like tovolos too as much as Ann and I do?
I am a tovolo fan.
I would think you'd use your hands to do that.
I'm not a cult tovolo member like you guys are.
We are cult members. That's a good way to put it. Oh, you left some precious bits in here, Brian.
Pull it out.
Okay. Ann, do you have a tovolo? Thank you, cult member. So this is what I did not do in the published recipe in Plant Strong. I kept this ricotta separate from the vegetables.
There's
and
a hunk right
did all
there.
these layers. I mean, I feel like such a what's the word for when you don't do things properly? Like
Poser.
poser, a sophistry. I don't even know. I actually have a friend here who's in the wings. What word would it be if I represented it wrong? Poser.
Please note the way Brian just does things. He has this special. It just is such a professional experience.
So now we have this.
Look.
Now we have this incredible stuffing. We'll call it stuffing for lasagna.
Well, it's like a ricotta.
So the
stuffing.
ricotta mixed in with all the vegetables. So
Tofu
you're
ricotta.
making the tofu ricotta. You're making this this stuffing, and really what we're going to do is is flatten it down in the pan, and then you're going to divide it in half. Just take the tovolo and divide it in half, and that's basically how you're going to break it up. You're going to.
Oh, that's how you do
add,
it?
Yep, that's it. Like add half at one time.
Apologies again about the way that I didn't write it up right.
All right, time to assemble. So
Okay.
we've got our classic lasagna pan here.
Let's get you underneath the. Can you get a top shot? Empty pan. Here we go.
So we've got the classic lasagna pan here, and so the first thing you want to do is put a little bit of sauce on the bottom. This is the sauce, Jane. You want to talk about the sauce that you made?
Yes. Well, we just made this. We make our own marinara sauce, and we just have a video that we did about it. It's called Fast and Fresh Marinara, and we will send you have the video link come right up here.
Now
Thank you,
I use the noodle like a
Like a blade.
like a plow, like a blade, and I just use the noodle to spread it around.
Oh, how cool! Oh, Brian.
And then
Get a good top shot of that blade. Can you see that?
Yep.
I like
That's
I like
so
the.
great.
It's like a cone.
then now this lasagna pan actually has curved corners, so I usually have to break the corner of the noodle off. These are hard noodles, uncooked, so it fits in there nicely. Now I'm just going to layer them in. You see the last one, you got to break the corner so it fits.
Cool.
Then I take one and I break off small pieces and just fill in the gaps. Doesn't have to be perfect, just do the best you can.
You need to be a good breaker.
Yeah, you got to break it nicely. Now, first thing that's going to go in is half of our ricotta mixture. And I washed my hands just so you all know, and I divided it in half.
Oh my goodness.
That's going to get
Oh,
half
This
the
is
ricotta
such
mixture.
a better instructions than I have written in our
Brian.
published recipe. So
Yeah.
embarrassed.
Now, every layer, remember, every layer needs sauce, every layer. So now we're going to cover this. We're going to put some sauce in. We're going to use our plow, our noodle plow.
Mom, you have a front row
Coolest
seat.
thing.
So we have
Do you need a little more
A
sauce,
little bit more sauce.
noodles,
here and
filling, sauce, noodles, filling. That
Well,
shouldn't.
now you forgot about the sweet potato. Or the, sorry, this,
Okay, we're going. Okay,
squash.
I'm just going to say where we are. We've done sauce, noodles, and filling, and now we're doing sauce.
no,
Have a sauce.
filling, noodles. Noodles go between
No,
every
there's
layer.
there's sauce. You put sauce on there.
Well, yeah, I think of it as like mixing it in.
Oh, so you kind of mix it.
There's a
I
little
think of a
broken
layer of
piece.
sauce as like a layer, but you just kind of
No.
sort of like
look
skim
at that perfect broken
coated
corner
it.
piece.
I've got a little bit over here. I'm connecting all these little toenails over here
Toenails. It's a nice image.
for a cooking show. Sorry, that's kind of gross.
All right, so now comes half
Oh,
half
I am
of
really
the
sorry.
squash.
Every stage of the game, I'm sorry for how I wrote it up.
And this is where you got to really use your fingers.
Oh, that's the trick. The fingers.
The fingers.
And the blade, the plow, or whatever you're calling the.
Yeah.
plow.
Can I have a plow?
Oh, a plow.
This one's good. A broken one's best.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. This is
Glob
so
it in.
different.
Now,
than-
of course, always
This even makes me want to make lasagna. I've always thought it was like just
just a
only
pan.
Brian can make it.
Well, Brian's an artist also. Like he draws something and it looks like what he's trying to draw. Draws a cartoon and
Now
you
do
can
we
tell the
need-
cartoon.
Now you always got to put sauce.
throwing something.
You always
The
got
way
to
you're
put sauce in
doing
on
this,
everything.
it's the same.
Not a ton. Don't need a ton of sauce when you're mixing it in with the.
It's like a
squash.
skim coat, isn't it?
Yep. Now layer of.
I'll collect toenails over here.
Now, if you're really thinking, you got to make sure you alternate which sides you're your gaps are going into. Whoops, I didn't need to break that off.
I have a lot of gaps over here.
And oh,
Whoops.
for those curious,
Holy crow!
for those curious what kind of noodles we're using, we are actually using a brand called Tinkiata, and they are a brown rice pasta based lasagna noodle because some of our friends have a sensitivity to wheat. We have no problem with whole wheat noodles.
Stepping
But
on noodle
oh my gosh, okay,
chunks.
you're making toenails.
Damn.
Now, so now you got another layer of noodles, now another layer of the ricotta.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Let's get it all in there, eh?
Oh, look at this plow over here covered with sauce. Holy Jimmy. Oh, we're going to be low.
No, I have a whole box over there.
Oh.
I was just
A little bit of sauce. Always sauce. You got to sauce every layer.
saucy.
We'll
Do you
use,
put more sauce like
we'll use our plow.
on the top?
Yep.
Here, Ann. If he needs those.
More sauce? Oh, I think
Maybe that corner. Yep. Not too much though, because we got to save some for the top layer.
we got a lot.
I don't know.
I trust Brian in
Reason
lasagna. No, in Brian I trust. In Brian lasagna I trust. In Brian making lasagna I trust. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I trust you making lasagna.
Oops. Messed that up. We got to fill our gaps here.
We've got so many toenails. Oh my goodness. Oh my, we could make like a pot of lasagna with all these little pieces. Or a pot of pasta. So Brian, I'm going to try to say what you've got going here. You did a layer of sauce, and then a layer of noodles, and then a filling, layer of filling, and then a skim coat of sauce, and then a layer of
Yeah, you're always
noodles.
putting.
When did this go on in the middle? After,
It
we'll have to
goes.
look at the video to see.
It goes noodle. Well, you put a tiny bit of sauce in the bottom. Then it's noodles.
Filling.
Filling. A little bit of sauce in with the filling. Noodles. I keep wanting to say sweet potato. Yellow
squash.
butternut squash.
Well, you could use sweet
noodles.
potato.
You could use sweet potato. Actually, we do in some of our lasagnas. What are we saying? Yeah. And then, okay, I stop. And then you just, and repeat.
Yep, then repeat. So ultimately, you're getting 2 layers of butternut squash and 2 layers of stuffing.
And many layers of skim coat and many layers of noodles.
We're really having a hard time spreading this one here.
Here, we got a little more. We got a few bites. Few bites that we can add.
We need some sauce, Ann.
Do we have enough?
Oh my gosh, we got so much sauce. I can't believe it.
Yes. Hooray,
One-
hooray. And
Did
this
you
Well,
is
we're
double-
gonna remember. We're gonna do one more layer of.
Oh, we are?
Yep. So that's good. That's plenty for this layer.
there's more? This is the biggest.
Wait a minute,
lasa-
Brian. Really?
Yep.
Yeah,
We're
here
doing
we
one
go.
more layer of noodles. That's it, and then we're covering with sauce.
This is.
This is going to overflow the dish.
No,
Bring it on.
Wait till you see. It's
Bring it
perfect.
on.
Just makes it.
I feel like every stage of the
we're gonna
game here,
have to
I want to
use
keep apologizing for again what I
low.
have published in the book. This is nothing like what Brian made, and
Wait a minute.
you think
a
I would
full
have caught
one.
on to that, being married to you and watching you do this for 2.5 decades now.
Is that it? All of our noodles?
Do we need more? We've got a lot of toenails if we need to.
Oh, look what we've
And
got.
we've got this thing.
Brian,
Look, we got it.
it is so perfect. Look.
Perfect.
Perfect.
About 2 boxes, or maybe 2 in the hair. I don't know how.
Okay,
it's
now all the sauce we have left.
Really?
Yep. You can just dump it.
Well,
All that
How
sauce.
nice! This is what we
Perfect.
This is what our. This is exactly what our marinara recipe made.
Excellent.
Now,
We got our plow. Now we got our plow.
you saved a plow. Unbelievable.
We need for the topping. You need
Brian,
some fresh basil, right?
you are
Yep.
I'm gonna run
truly
outside and get some fresh basil.
the master.
Look at that. Perfect. Just worked out perfectly.
Well, it's a little over the edge.
It'll shrink down. It'll shrink down.
Yeah. Ooh, Woo!
Now we're gonna
That's a beauty.
to make it artistic on the top. We're gonna
Nutritional yeast.
use a little bit of nutritional yeast and rinse my hands.
Here's the Nutri's in this little plants only spice box.
So
That's a nice little spice box.
it is a nice
spice
spice box. So a little bit of nutritional yeast.
Should we chop up the basil? What do you want us to do with the basil?
I'm going to use scissors.
Okay.
Is that all that's all the nutritional yeast you put on?
Yep.
I would have put some more.
Oh,
I like that you're.
really?
I like that he's a governor. We have no governor inside. We don't.
No,
we're just all or
Brian,
nothing.
Brian does something that I never can believe. He knows just how much of the pepper to put in, and he leaves the rest. When I have a little left, I just put it in. But it's that fact of having a governor that makes such a difference in your cooking.
Any more?
That's good.
Although
So I'm just
fresh
taking
basil.
I'm just taking basil, mashing it into a pile here, and then just slicing it. Just be careful with the tips of your fingers.
Maybe some of you guys have those basil scissors that have like numerous little slices. Remember in Iceland we had.
Yep. Now Jane won't let me, but sometimes I crumble some walnuts and put them on the top.
Why don't you do that? I mean,
Because
that's
in the recipe book, it says to crumble cashews, right?
yeah, and we like to keep it plant perfect, and just you can do it like this, and just this is done, or you can put on a couple nuts on top.
So I'm taking some walnuts. I'm just going to mash them on this cutting board here, and then we'll sprinkle them on top.
I am stepping on so many little pieces still.
Look at how he's mashing. How interesting.
Just crushing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna get rid of all these extra things over here because I think we're done with all the lasagna noodle needs.
So now I'm just taking some crushed walnuts and putting them on top just for a little bit of flavor. And that
It's just a simple little lasagna dish.
Oh no! And now this, but how do we? This is now at 350.
I
Right.
cook it for an hour. I think it's hard to overcook a lasagna. Cook it for a solid hour in a preheated oven once it's covered in tin foil.
So
Then you take the foil off for the last little bit.
You can take the foil off to toast the
Brian,
top.
you see, Brian left all these walnuts. Now, I would put all those walnuts on. How can you leave those, Brian?
He
I'll
has
use
a
them for my
governor.
cereal.
He has a
Brian,
governor.
You never want to over walnut. What would Essie say?
how can you over walnut?
What would Essie say?
Here, just put it back in there. Okay.
He would say-
that Brian, that goes in the oven. But what Brian did for us is yesterday he made this exact same thing. So I'm gonna pull that out of the oven while he puts that one in. Ready? Let's toasty dough. Wade, you want to check it out? Actually, it doesn't. It's not very exciting. It's just here it is. It is. Oh my gosh! You have to hold your core. Hold your core. Ugh.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah. All right, Brian. Big reveal. All you. I'm gonna clean up some of this chaos.
And here
Oh, look at her undulations.
is what it looks like.
Look at her. That's a beauty.
Ooh.
Can you have a spatula?
I would put more sauce on the top of that,
Do
actually.
we have some more sauce? We can put
Yeah,
sauce on
I
this.
got a
used it.
little. I have a little handful of nuts. What'll I give me a little dish for Brian's cereal?
Here, put it here. Put it in there.
Oh.
All right. So let's try. We have these great little plates, perfect for our little. I'm so excited.
Let's see if we can get a solid, good-looking piece out of this.
It's hard when it's hot.
Yeah, and again, when things set, especially when they have a complex carbohydrate, they set, and you can slice it. Oatmeal in the morning, if you put it in the refrigerator for
Shall I put a little sauce on
an
that?
afternoon, you
Brian?
could slice your oatmeal.
Did you want me to put sauce?
Yes, put some sauce on top.
Ooh, that's gorgeous. Can we get one for Wade and one for you and me? And
I think we're
Ann?
pressing our luck here.
No. That's a weed. Perfect.
Good grief. These are big pieces.
I know. Luckily, we're hungry. I'm hungry. Look at that beauty. Look at her profile. Okay, go again. Let's do this one, an internal one. Internal. Like the whole, yummy, the center. So we don't have any sides or walls. It's just going to be all profile. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's the best looking one.
Yeah, Wade, do you see her size? And do you see her from this angle? Oh, did you get her from that angle? And from behind.
Looks so freaking good.
Doesn't it? Look at that. Top shot.
Right, give me.
Oh, Anne's dressing. Okay. So, let's get our forks and have a bite. Wade, you up for a bite?
Yeah, sure.
Does this have walnuts on top, Brian?
Yes.
Okay. Here, have a bite. You guys, let's bite this one. I'm gonna save this handsome one for our profile shot. Hey, hey.
Brian?
Thank you.
Yum. It's just lasagna's got such every how do you say every bit of your bite tastes different? How do you say that? Like every
My only criticism is it needs those extra walnuts.
oh jeez.
Yeah.
Did you
Yum.
get it yet?
Delicious.
Going in now.
Yummy, yummy. You got it, Brian? Okay, so
All right. Thank
please enjoy your plant-strong lasagna following Brian's updated instructions. Do not pay any attention to how I described it here in the book. I don't know what took me over. I mean, do you know?
Well, it still would be good because
It'll
it's
still
got
be
a
good.
good.
I like how this is assembled. I know it would taste maybe-ish the same, but this is great. Okay, hey, rock on. Let us know how you assemble your lasagna, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.